Good morning to you. Thanks very much for being with us. So, look, this government spending review is coming on Wednesday. Lots of money for defence and for the NHS, it would seem.
Well, let's see. Certainly there's lots of deserving causes out there. But what we're concerned about, of course, you've got a very high-spending, high-tax government. And this more spending is going to mean probably more taxes. And this government said it had a fully costed, fully funded manifesto and ended up whacking the country with £76 billion of tax and spend. Let's see where this money's coming from when it comes.
We were at the highest tax burden for 70 years under your government, weren't we?
And it's even higher now. That's the point. I mean, we had to put taxes up because of all the money we spent through COVID. About £500 billion spent in the economy. Otherwise, millions of people would have lost their jobs. Hundreds of thousands of businesses would have gone out of business. So we had to put taxes up to repay some of that. But the tax burden was on its way back down. That's our plan. With this government, it's going up and up and up.
A couple of other topics I want to talk to you about, Kevin, while I've got you. I know you haven't got loads of time. Assisted dying. So we have Professor Hollinrake on here who's led a letter from physicians calling for MPs to vote against the bill when it comes back to the House on Friday. What's your sense of the debate at the current moment, and how will you be voting on Friday?
It's a very sensitive issue, clearly. People have their own views. I've spoken to physicians who are supportive of assisted dying, and some will disagree for different reasons. I personally would like to see that legislation passed. I think people should have a choice. When you're at the final stages of your life, remember the conditions of this legislation, you have to be diagnosed with 6 months or less to live through a terminal illness. So I think at that point in time, people should have a choice. I want that choice. I want other people to have that choice.
It should be a personal choice thing. Well, on personal choice, a debate resurrected itself last week from a question in the House of Commons, and then it was brought up again by your leader at the weekend. The banning of the BURKA. Why now? Why are we talking again about banning burqas?
Well, I think it was a question that was asked, but I am concerned. Part of my portfolio is community cohesion. I am concerned that some of our communities are dividing. And some of that separation can be because of things like a BURKA or other issues. I think the opposition also mentioned Sharia court she was worried about, and first cousin marriages. Many people are concerned about these kind of things, these changes to our society. So we need to have a proper debate about the BURKA. I think Kemi Badenoch said it should be workplace should be able to decide its own rules in terms of dress. That was probably as far as she wanted to go right now, but we need to have a proper conversation.
So you want to open that conversation? I mean, from what you're saying, you're suggesting that a Conservative government would likely ban the BURKA, would remove all Sharia courts and any sense of that within the UK, and ban first cousin marriage.
Well, ban the BURKA we haven't decided upon yet, and we had to have that debate. I think Kemi said that she wasn't in favour of banning the BURKA. There was a personal choice point there. But can I just make the very important point? There's a real concern is some people may be wearing a BURKA or a niqab, which is another face veil, because of coercion. I don't want to see that. We're in a tolerant society where people should have free will.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? And many would argue that it is free will for them to choose to dress how they want.
I have concerns that it's not as well at times, and so it's a very, again, a debate we should have. But there's no question there are certain elements within certain communities that are definitely of the mind that women should dress in a certain way. I think that is wrong. I don't think we should go around telling women what to wear. I think some people in our communities are.
And what then should be done in those communities? What would you like to see community leaders, the government do to try and get involved?
I don't think... I mean, community leaders, to me, are elected councillors, elected members of parliament, elected mayors, those are the community leaders. Those are the people who should speak for everybody in this country, not certain elements of the community. We need to look at these matters very, very carefully and make sure people understand that we are free and tolerant society in Britain. We always will be. And people who want to reduce some of those freedoms, who think women are inferior to men, who think people of different sexuality don't have a place in the UK, we should say loud and clearly to those people, that has no place in the UK.
Is that what you really think, that they think that women are inferior to men in some communities?
Some communities think that.
Kemi Badenoch also said that if someone came to surgery wearing a niqab, wearing a full face veil, should get them to remove it before speaking to them. Have you come come across constituents wearing the veil?
I don't have many Muslim constituents in my constituency, so that's not happened to me. But I would be the same mind. And I think Jack Straw said this years ago. You know, he asked the constituents when he was Home Secretary, I think, to remove a face veil because it can be seen as a barrier to communication.
Does that show a lack of understanding about the Muslim faith? Of course, women wear the face veil and remove it to their husband and close family. Someone like a politician, they wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, I think that should be a choice of the individual member of Parliament, which I think Kemi Badenoch has said. I would make the same choice as Kemi. I don't think it's right that somebody covers their face at a surgery, whether it be a balaclava or a burqa.
The debate has now begun. Kevin Hollinrake, Shadow Housing Secretary, thanks very much for seeing us.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.